Okay, so South Africa played Romania in the opening match today in the Rugby World Cup pool stages. It's finished 76-0. It was 33-0 at half time. What we've seen today in this game, South Africa experiment in the front row and in the back line. They've had injuries, obviously, to some key players. Malcolm Marx is their second hooker. He's gone down injured. He's going to miss the rest of the tournament. So at one point we had a guy who's only been a Springbok for a year in his late 30s and a flanker playing at hooker. Very interesting. Although I will admit, Fourie, who has played hooker for most of his club career, in more recent times he has also played flanker and as a prop. And then you also had von Standen ending up playing hooker and throwing into the lineouts as well. So they did some experimentation in that position. They've also experimented with Williams on the wing, scrum half. Faf de Klerk came on at fly half. Willemse, who can play fly half but also can play fullback, starting fly half. So they've been tinkering with the lineup and experimenting. This is a game to do it. It's not disrespectful to Romania. They've got to utilise their squad. They've got some injuries. It looks very likely that Andre Pollard will be called up to the Springboks as the 33rd man. But what we've also seen in this game is the fastest ever bonus point try and the second fastest hat-trick of all time. Bearing in mind, Rienach, who scored the fastest hat-trick of all time, did that in the last World Cup. He's now scored the second fastest hat-trick in World Cup. I think there's 4 minutes difference between hat-tricks. Now, Rienach opens the scoring on 3 minutes. He gets one hat-trick today. Mapimpi gets the other hat-trick today. He gets his first try on 7 minutes. Willemse missed the first conversion, gets the second conversion. Then Rienach gets his second try on 9 minutes. Willemse converts that. Willemse scores his try on his first try on 11 minutes. That's the bonus point. It took 11 minutes for the bonus point try. He also converts that. Then von Standen had his try disallowed for obstruction. That is an annoying thing, but with the amount of changes they made, the combinations can go wrong. But that's not the first time we've seen a driving line-out obstruction at this World Cup being called. In previous years, that may have gone unnoticed or missed. That is more of a technical infringement. It is annoying. They would have practiced their set play lineouts and set plays off lineout heavily in training, and that is a bit of a coach killer. That one. In a more important game, when it's close and it's tight, that could be the difference. So there's a little bit of execution, still not quite right, but they were experimenting today. Rienach gets his hat-trick on 24 minutes, and Willemse converts. And then the rain comes down, and it chucked it down. Now, where I am in the UK, we've had some heavy showers and thunderstorms come through earlier. We're meant to have more bad weather later this evening. It's been very hot, very humid. Same in Bordeaux. The rain comes down, and then the game becomes scrappy. And South Africa lose a little bit of control because they could have scored over 100 points plus, 120 points plus today if they were carrying on at that scoring rate. The weather did have an impact at the end of the second half. So it's 33-0 at half time. Thankfully, the rain eased off in the second half, and we saw South Africa do some great set plays, and their outside backs had a field day, really. Romania were just not out of the races. I think they took a hammering in their first game. They've taken another hammering today. They were kept scoreless, first team to be kept scoreless at this World Cup. So the second half, Fourie, a replacement hooker, also can play as a flanker, scores his try in 43 minutes. They were experimenting with the lineouts with von Standen and Fourie taking the lineouts in the second half. Willemse had a try disallowed on 51 minutes. Again, another obstruction. And that will be, and that's from Moody just getting in the way there. That's going to be another exceptionally annoying thing. When you're so dominant, these silly little penalties and having tries called back is frustrating, really. So there's another try disallowed. So they've left 2 tries on the field, which is a potential of up to 14 points. Let that sink in. There was a penalty try shortly afterwards. The Romanian scrum was battered in this game. I am surprised, however, that there wasn't a yellow card given for repeat infringing, but there was a penalty try given. Williams gets his first of 2 tries on 55 minutes. I mean, yeah, he's a scrum half, but it's not the first time that South Africa put a scrum half on the wing. They did it with Hugot a couple of World Cups ago. Williams, he's very fleet of foot. He's very, very quick. You could play him at fullback quite literally as well, and on the wing, not just at scrum half. I think he's shown his versatility today with his 2 tries. His second try comes from 62 minutes. De Klerk converts that, so they've got a backup kicking option in De Klerk. Willems has gone off. De Klerk showing his versatility, filling in as at fly half today, with Willems starting and Lobok not playing. They're experimenting just in case worse comes to worse, and that's what you get with the Razzie Erasmus side when he's involved in the coaching setup. He does think outside the box. Love him or hate him. And Mapimpi gets his second try is brilliant on 64 minutes. Real pace there. And then he scores his hat-trick try on 67 minutes. De Klerk converts that one. And then Leroux gets his first try in 3 World Cups. He's had 13, 14 attempts. Not scored a try, which I find surprising with Leroux because he's such a devastating ball runner and creative player that he's taken Leroux 3 World Cups into his 3rd World Cup to get his first try. So there we go, a bit of a cricket score. As I say, South Africa did experiment with aspects of their forward pack and their back line. I mean, at one point they had 3 scrum halves on the field, so let that sink in. They had a scrum half at fly half, a scrum half on the wing, and a scrum half playing scrum half. They had 4 scrum halves in the starting day squad. That let that sink in, but Rienach obviously got the ball rolling with his hat-trick, and again, second quickest hat-trick in World Cup history and the fastest bonus point try in World Cup history. So some records went today. Romania, I mean, they're in the pool of death. Let's be honest. They are in the pool of death. You have to feel a bit of sympathy for Romania. They haven't qualified for the last 2 World Cups. They're not the team that they were in the 80s and the 90s when they were a pretty decent side, but rugby has declined a little bit in Romania. They were on a hiding to nothing today. And South Africa, this isn't the strongest South African side they could have put on the field. Let that sink in. This is basically their B, possibly C team playing today. This is the depth players, putting their hand up for involvement. That's scary if this is their backup side. Missing players because of injury, but this is basically their backup side. That is generally terrifying. Imagine what they could have done with a full strength side today and just given everyone a run out. And the fact they left 14 points on the field easily is a bit worrying. And the fact that they even allowed 20 minutes or so to allow the game to lose a bit of structure and a little bit of intensity, and they still put 76 points on the board is ridiculous. I think people are underestimating what this African side can do because only one side has retained the Webb Ellis, and that was the All Blacks in 2011 and 2015. I do think people are underestimating just how good this South African setup is and how good these Springboks actually are. So there we go. 2 hat-tricks today. Fastest ever bonus point try. Second fastest hat-trick of all time in the World Cup. I'll let that sink in. Thank you very much for watching. Please place your thoughts in the comments section below. Next up is Australia playing Fiji. That's going to be fun. I think the Fijians will be eyeing a scalp there. Australia didn't look great in their opening game against Georgia. It looked a little bit vulnerable. So that could be a very tasty game indeed. And from me, for now, thank you very much for watching, and I will have some more content for you very, very soon.